welcome back to another speed build. My name's Jess, and today I'm building in Windenburg on a 30 by 20 lot, and today's build is a brownstone inspired city townhouse with a cafe next to it. So it's a pretty big build and on a scale that I don't normally build because there is 4 stories, which I'm pretty proud of how this build turned out. And it's actually one that I started last year, but I recently kind of rediscovered in my library, and it just really stood out to me because of the kind of autumn colors with the orange brick and the really deep details with the black accents. I think it looks so nice and was definitely a bit of a challenge for me because I haven't really done a brownstone build before. So I definitely wanted to return to it and get it built for you guys, and just to see how this whole build could turn out. And I'm really into how it turned out. So you can see I added in the cafe next door, and in my mind I kind of saw this as like your Sims who live here would maybe work out of the cafe. So like during the working day, if they're a freelancer, they just work at the cafe. Thought that could be fun, but of course you could use this as a cafe, and there will be plenty to do in the house if you want to use it as a cafe. There is a lot of skill building activities and just general fun items in this house. So definitely could be used either way, but I kind of intended it as a sort of work from home situation, but work out of a cafe that's right next to your house. Anyways, you can see I made quite a bit of progress on the exterior, and of course I had to put ivy all over the wall. It's just, I feel like, looks so blank without having a little something there, so the ivy in the game is just perfect, and I think it adds a bit of realism. And outside of the cafe, you can see I added in the trellis from high school years, and I think that just kind of suits this little patio space out back of the cafe. I think it looks really nice. But we're moving on to the interior of the cafe, and one thing I wanted to mention right away is we just had the Sim Summit, and the biggest news, the Sims 5 was basically announced with them showing us Project Renee. It looks so incredible, and I'm so glad they showed what they're doing with the building in that game. It looks so incredible. I genuinely can't wait, but I know there's many years to wait for it to finally be released. But definitely let me know down below what you were excited for from the Sim Summit. I know we had quite a few little announcements, though we didn't get to see a ton of the new packs and expansions and all that are going to be released. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, nothing can beat being able to say we've seen some of the Sims 5 already. That's just so crazy. So anyways, obviously I was quite a bit of a fan of the summit, and I thought it was kind of cute. They tried a few different things out, and I just always like to mention these things on my videos just to keep a record of what's going on in the Sims community at the time that I do this build, if anyone happens upon it in the future. Just kind of cool to know like the progress of things. So in this pass-through section, I went ahead and made these shelves kind of cluttered up with just items I thought were a little bit modern and looked sleek, which matched the vibe of this build, and I think that it ended up looking so nice. And of course I had to make the custom book stacks with the books from Parenthood, I believe. It's with the private journal. You can use the tool mod to make kind of a custom book stack, and I just think it suits more modern builds a little bit better than the book stacks that we already have in game. And you can see here, I think this looks pretty good, so it's definitely worth the little effort with the tool mod. And if you don't know what the tool mod is, that's a mod by Twisted Mexi. So you can just Google Twisted Mexi and find it. And it allows you to make changes to like items and kind of customize just about everything in the game, every object in the game. So it's really, really cool. And if you're a builder, I highly recommend it. It's just changes the game completely. But you can see in the kitchen, I added in this little shelf area underneath the cabinets, because if you've ever seen a build of mine, you know I have to have a cluttered kitchen shelf. It's just mandatory at this point. And originally I actually just had cabinets, but I just needed a space to add in a little bit of color. I thought it was kind of a dark build. And here I'm using some no CC art from the gallery to make a kind of faux backsplash. Now I will say with that, the panels don't completely match up, and the lighting, I just couldn't get it even between all the panels, even though I added some lighting in the back to try and even it out. So if that does bother you, just feel free to delete it. It's not a big deal, but it didn't bother me too much, and I think for like the vibe that it adds in, it's worth it. But I know for some people that might get a little bit annoying to see in their game. But we're moving on to the second story. And actually, one thing I wanted to mention is I don't think you can hear it, but we have some rain going on in my part of the world, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, so that's pretty expected. But we've actually not really had a ton of rain lately, and what we've actually had is really, really smoky skies. And I think it was yesterday we had the worst air quality in the world, so or like second worst, something like that. And so things are really, really smoky here, but the rain is finally here to clear it up, and it's definitely really nice. Makes me very grateful to have a rainy day, but it is kind of pouring right now, so it's a little loud. But you could see we finished up the first bedroom, and that I kind of envisioned for a teenager. I really liked the sort of monochromatic look with just a few pops of color. I think that looked really nice. And then this is the shared bathroom for this story, which has both of the kids' bedrooms. And I just wanted to add in a little bit of clutter just to make this a little bit more interesting. And here is the kids' bedroom. So I imagine there being two kids who share this room. And I tried to put in some activities for them and some space to read and things just to, you know, get the fun up. And I'm really happy with how this little room turned out. Well, I guess it's actually a pretty big room for me. The fact I could actually fit a dollhouse in is pretty incredible without sizing it down. So yeah, anyways, I really like how that room turned out, and I thought it had a really nice modern sort of pastel feel to it. And this is the upper story with the parents' room, and this is kind of like a study space. I kind of envisioned it being shared between all the Sims in this house to do work and homework and all those things. I thought this would be a really good space for that. And it also was, I wasn't sure what to put there originally, so it really worked out, and I was quite a fan of it. So anyways, we have this walk-in closet for the parents, and I just wanted to make it really fun. So adding in some bright wallpaper and that new wardrobe from high school years. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And the bathroom, again, I wanted to keep it fun. With this house, I really wanted it to be really eclectic. So I tried to use a lot of bright or interesting items with interesting patterns. And I had a lot of fun doing it. It's definitely, my style is very eclectic. So putting together all these items, I had a lot of fun, and it sort of scratched that itch for me of being like a style I really, really love. So you can see I'm adding in basically a whole living room to this bedroom because it was so big. And I actually think it might be bigger than the living room downstairs. But anyways, I thought that just suited that space, and having a fireplace is never a bad addition. And here you can see we're kind of in the rec room area, and I just added in everything I could think for your Sims to just have fun, build skills, and lots of different items for kids. And I even had it in this stage portion with lots of musical items and, of course, the little puppet show, little theater. I thought worked so well there. I thought it was really, really cute. And I did want to add in a bathroom on this level just because your Sims are going to walk up a lot of stairs if you use this build. So I wanted it to be convenient on most of the levels to get to a bathroom. But here you can see I'm doing a movie room, and I wanted to add in some vending machines and snacks so your Sims could have a really just fun movie experience. And then, of course, had to add in a few of my favorite movie posters from the game. And in the backyard space, I just wanted to add in, honestly, just items for the kids to enjoy, and of course some gardening items. But we're actually moving on to the cafe. Build is going so quickly, which I guess is why we call it a speed build. But in the cafe, I wanted to keep it really simple and use this sage green color with black accents. And I really, really love how it turned out. I think it's a really beautiful build and color combination. So it was a lot of fun to discover all the different sage green items we have in game and make this coffee shop just feel really cozy. One thing with this build is I wanted it to sort of be a versatile build, so hopefully you can see yourself using this in a lot of different ways and changing it up if you need to. But with that, we're actually coming to the end of the build. I'm just going to be adding in tables from here on out, and I just really want to say I appreciate your support on my little channel here on YouTube. It means so much to me. I can't even tell you, but I hope you have an excellent day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.